Okay, welcome back everyone to the BroLab series. Doing something a little different today. We are not launching a ship to BroLab itself or launching any of its assemblies. Today we are going to rendezvous with some of the debris left from the original refuel arm from episode 2. We're going to deorbit all that debris from that collision. If you're not familiar with it, in episode 2 or from the live stream, we did have a collision on our first attempt to attach a module to BroLab, and now we have debris circling Kerbin endlessly. So I'm not going to put all of the deorbiting into this video. It'll just be the main piece, the refuel arm itself, that we'll record here. I wasn't even going to record it originally, but I know this whole save file was created so everything could be documented. Everything that I do is on a video or on live stream, so I wanted to stay true to that. But as you can see behind me, we've got the highlights of the launch, getting into orbit and getting ready to start our docking maneuvers with BroLab. Or the arm, I should say. I'm so used to saying BroLab. Now the arm, even though it was damaged, should be mostly intact. There is a port at the back where we were originally going to attach it to BroLab, and that is where we're going to try and dock to shove it back into a suborbital trajectory. Now, I wasn't sure going into this if the game mechanics have been put in place for allowing it to burn up on re-entry, so I tried for a shallow re-entry, but I'm still actually not sure if the mechanics are there, but either way it didn't burn up. So that was something I was kind of hopeful for, but would have made it for good viewing, but no such luck. So we've just about wrapped up all the clips for the launch here. You can see I'm using pretty much all the fuel from what, if you have seen the live streams or if later you see the content on YouTube, this is basically just our Bro 5 rocket with the control shuttle on top. But you can see I'm using pretty much all that fuel. This is the design I used to do the MUN and Minmus orbitals. But the good news, of course, because we have a couple different things to dock with, is our first target, the BroLab refueling arm here, which is now coming into view. That should still have some fuel on board that we are going to use to refuel the ship. So that should help. Once we get that fuel on, and I think actually extra monoprop, we can use that to help us dock with the debris. There's a docking ring, just a docking ring, floating out there somewhere. I'm gonna have a little bit of a difficulty finding that, but we'll deorbit that. It's that, and gonna have to nudge a landing strut out of orbit. There's a landing strut somewhere out there. Not really sure how I'm gonna do that one. I guess I could just catch it in between two of the tanks and shove it. You know, the little gap between the tanks there. That's probably what I'm going to do. Switching to first person. Not the greatest camera work, but it's still a nice view as we approach the arm itself. As you can see, it's pretty much a clone of the successful fuel arm that we have on Brolab now. But some minor changes there were made. Of course, the top of this is damaged. The top has top port smashed off that was supposed to be used to dock with. It was using a different control shuttle, and it only has half the RCS pods. It only has them set up as a pair instead of as a quad. It made it really hard to control that, and ultimately led to us doing some crazy maneuvering, which resulted in an explosion. Otherwise, very similar. So thankfully this one port was left open. This port that we're docking with was where the booster was originally docked during launch and connected. So that left this open for us. Of course, the top port was actually smashed off in the collision, and the 4 tank arms were all closed for launch, since those were exposed during launch. Otherwise, this would be a lot more difficult to deorbit. As you can see, we were able to dock pretty easy with this. First person view definitely helping there. It's kind of funny to see how easy that docking went, and consider just a few episodes ago, just a few launches ago, how much trouble we were having, and again, ultimately colliding. We've come quite a ways. So you can see fuel is back up in the Bro 5. A little unbalanced, but I'll just balance that out later. I've got small tanks on there that can help me do that. We'll throttle up too. Deorbit this bad boy. There we go. There's his camera flip. Now, the last step there is getting the Bro 5 back into orbit, leaving just the arm to decay. You can see it's really mostly intact, aside from the docking ring that smashed off and the landing strut from the control shuttle, the first control shuttle. There's really not much else to worry about. I think that's actually it. The engine that smashed off the control shuttle, I'm pretty sure that just straight exploded. I don't think there's anything left of that. You can see here the fuel arm peeling off. Make sure our orbit is safe on the shuttle here, the Bro 5. And then I was able to transfer back over to the refueling arm and watch it burn. As you see, it's going to actually still have a para-apsis, even though it's down to 16,000 meters, so at that point it'll be inside the atmosphere. Like I said earlier, I tried for a really shallow descent angle, but didn't really end up making too much of a difference in the end. And there we are. I'll stop the narration here so you can all watch the end of the refueling arm.